Yo, yo, yo. We're getting ready to cover an important topic today. Happy Straight Black Family Month. I hope everyone's excited to promote, advocate, celebrate the straight black family. I've been coming under attack, which I knew I would, this month. People seem to have a very huge problem with us advocating, promoting, and celebrating and focusing on the straight black family. But that's okay. We are still gonna focus on the straight black family. And the topic for tonight is, why do we need Straight Black Family Month? Why do we need that? You wouldn't believe the number of attacks that I've gotten from people saying, this is just like when black people said Black Lives Matter, and then racist white people came up with the term All Lives Matter. This is basically a celebration of hate. This is all about hating the LGBTQ community. This is not needed. They say that straight pride is celebrated all year round. So they don't understand why we would need Straight Black Family Month. And so now the thing is this. For any sensible black person who has any understanding of the current social, economic, and political situation that black people find ourselves in this country, it's clear to us why we need to focus on building our families, to any sane person. And so my explanation or my points today, it would technically have to be split between whether I'm talking to a sane person or whether I'm talking to an insane gender fluidist. What's a gender fluidist? A gender fluidist is a person who believes that there are no concrete... one of my guns. There are no concrete rules or standards or requirements for being a man or a woman. Let's explain it more on a basic level. A male doesn't have to wear pants, he can wear a dress. A woman can marry another woman and they can have a relationship. A male can wear lipstick and no one ought to bat an eye. There's no standards, there's no rules. Gender is fluid and you can float in and out as you see fit. For example, the legislation that Obama put in place that said if a young man identifies as a woman, well, you have to let him use the girls' bathroom at school. Or if a young lady identifies as a male, she just feels she's a male, or she sees herself as a male, then you have to let her use the boys' restroom at school. This is gender fluidity or gender confusion. If I were going to talk to one of these people, then you'd have to have a whole separate list of points and reasons and facts and statistics. But I'm not talking to them today. This month is not about gender fluidists. As you can see, Google, the UFC, every network, every major company just about went all out for Pride Month. They went all out. You saw the rainbows intertwined and everything. I went and turned on my laptop, and it has a thing where whenever, I don't set it, whenever you first turn it on before you log in, it has a different screensaver, and it changes every time you pull it up. And it's always like a beautiful mountain or river or lush forest, some beautiful scenery. But last month when I opened my laptop, it had turned to a gay pride background. And I said, whoa, how did this get on my laptop? Rainbows and things everywhere. This couldn't be. I don't even know how they did that. But I guess if they can change it systematically, then they can change it to what they see fit. But they didn't do one for Juneteenth, I can tell you that. So, that's all the small talk. Let's start talking about my reasons important reasons I feel that we need Straight Black Family Month. Number one, why do I say Straight Black Family instead of Straight Black Pride? Last year when we did this month, I said Straight Black Pride. This year, I realized something. It's not enough just to be proud about being straight. Why? You can be straight and still be a dog. You can be straight and still be a hoe. You can be straight and be slipping around getting 10, 15 women pregnant, lying to all of them. You can be straight and got 27 baby daddies. You can be straight and have no intentions of ever starting a family. It ain't enough to just be straight. That's not shit to be proud of. Well, that is something to be proud of, but I'm gonna need a little bit more. We need more than just straight. We got a lot of straightness going on. We could use some more. We have fluidity on the rise, but we need more than just being straight. We need black family-is. What's a black family-is? That's somebody who's 100% dedicated in thought, word, and deed to building and maintaining the black family unit. So if you're going to be proud about something, that's why I said Straight Black Family Month, right? I don't need a bunch of idiots running around here just being you straight and you're happy. I know you straight at the club trying to get women drunk and do the Bill Cosby. That ain't going to get us nowhere as a community. So, no, it's not just enough to be straight. Now let's talk about it. Our enemies have understood since day one that in order to break our identity, to break who we are as Africans, and to turn us into them, Europeans, that they had to destroy the black family. Well, what's the black family then? Since fluidists have an idea that you can get a family with many different shapes, forms, and Black Lives Matter, they'll tell you you can have 19 women or 2 women can raise a child, 2 men, 3 men can raise a child. What's the black family? See, the African always understood, and the European understood that the African understood that the family is built on the masculine-feminine balance. Okay? The masculine-feminine balance. The black man and the black woman working together. That's the formula. That's what you need to start a family. They understood that. And that's why one of their main tactics has always been to separate the black man from the black woman. And now, today, is to turn the black woman against the black man and the black man against the black woman. So they don't even want nothing to do with each other. That was the whole root and aim of the black feminist movement. So in prior times, the slave owner would come out, and to ensure that the blacks understood that they were not going to maintain their strong family structures, what would they do? They would sell their kids to different plantations. They would take the husband and beat him and sodomize him in front of his wife and the children if they were there. Better yet, they would take the wife and rape the wife just so the husband knows he doesn't have no power to protect her, and she knows he's not going to be able to protect her. They were doing this because they understood that in being able to maintain a family structure, that's going to give you a bit of humanity, and that's going to give you a bit of strength that might be the catalyst to all sorts of other things. What do I mean by that? When you have the dignity, think about it. When our women have the dignity and the comfort and the security of knowing that they're protected by our men, right? Then that allows them to be more feminine, more nurturing, more loving. That allows them to be who they really need to be. And they're smart, right? And when our man is able to lead his family and protect his family and protect his wife and his children, that's going to give him confidence, and that's going to give him strength, and that's going to give him a level of respect in that household that might lead him to go out and conquer and achieve even greater things. They know that. And so since we've been here and before we even got here, their main aim has been to tear the black family structure apart. And check this out. In the Caribbean, in these other islands where they left the black families and the villages and the tribes intact, they had a hell of a lot more slave rebellions and a hell of a lot more revolutions and a hell of a lot more uprisings. They were hard to control, those black people, because they left their family structures intact. Right? Well, why is that? Because the family is the first unit of organization. The family is the first business. The family is the first governing body. Dr. Clark used to talk about this all the time. Before we start talking about building businesses and community empowerment organizations, political parties, and all these things, we need to be building families. If you got a man telling you he's going to lead an organization, he's going to lead a business, he's going to lead a political party, he's going to be responsible for finances, he's going to be responsible for fundraising, he's going to be responsible for planning and executing, the first place you learn these skills is by building and leading a family. That's the first place. That's our first unit of organization. And what a coincidence. As the black family structure was attacked, destroyed, decimated, the level of organization in our communities plummeted. Think about it. My dad used to tell me stories all the time, and he ought to know because he done been in the streets and done any and everything you can think of. How in the 60s and 70s in the black neighborhoods, you would leave your doors unlocked. All they had was a screen door. It was too hot. You just had your screen door. Nobody bothered nothing. Somebody needed to borrow the lawnmower, they'll come over there and get it, use it, and put it back. You wasn't worried about who's taking this or who's touching that. Everybody wasn't stealing from each other. There was stability. There was a black man in the household. Right? Now, statistics show us that this is a fact. Up until the mid to late 70s, over 70% of black children were born into married households, what they call wedlock. Meaning they had a mom and a dad who were married in the house, right? So at this time, my dad would always tell me, wasn't nobody jumping the gate stealing your bike. Wasn't nobody coming in the screen door trying to snatch the TV. Wasn't nobody doing any of these things when we had our family structures intact. Why? Because the family structure is the basic unit of organization. When you have a group of families living in an area, what you got? You have a community. When you have a community, what do you have? You have standards that are enforced, not just by your mom and dad, but by the other members of the community. What do I mean by standards? My dad would always tell me back when he was coming up, if you were acting ignorant, showing your behind, doing stupid stuff on the way home from school, you might get beat by somebody else's parents before you even get home and then get beat again. Right? That's a community. Others would correct the children. Right? But this is when we had family structures. We had men in the homes playing their role. I'm going to talk about their role a little bit. But what I want to say is that the family is the first unit of organization, and our enemies know this. Right? That's why they declared war on the family. On the plantation, how else did they declare war? After direct physical plantation slavery ended, they moved to a system called convict lease, the convict lease system. And Michelle Alexander talks about this very in-depth in her book, The New Jim Crow. I would get up and get it, but I don't feel like getting up. I might get it later. The convict lease system. What you did was the Africans are now off of the plantations, so-called. We're going to pass a bunch of different laws, vagrancy laws, wasting money laws, drunken public laws. We're going to find ways to mass incarcerate as many of their men as possible. We're going to put them back in prisons where they'll be put back out on the land in what they call chain gangs, working on the same plantations they just left, and they will be outside of their homes. They won't be there in their homes to raise their children. They won't be there in their homes to protect and provide. And then the European can go around and take advantage of the black woman and child as he sees fit. And he's still doing it. Okay? Convict lease system. Well, tell us about another attack that they did on the black family. Welfare. I was listening to, I believe, Shahrazad Ali the other day, and she was making the example. No other group of people did the government include in giving them any type of aid that they include a mandate that the man be taken out of the house. What do I mean? The government gives farmers millions and millions in subsidies every year. They pay them not to plant certain crops because they want to control crop prices. They want to control the amounts of crops and crop markets. They want to control that. They'll pay farmers not to plant. Now, most of these farmers happen to be white. Why? Because they inherited land that was given to their ancestors. But we're not going to get into all that. But what I'm saying is that the farmers that are doing bad, they bail them out, they subsidize them, and they never said, as part of the subsidy, I want the man out of the house. But with welfare, cash assistance, food stamps, different things that were provided in urban areas, urban, inner city. These are all just code word for black. When they gave the black woman this aid, they gave it with the requirement that no man be in the house. They'll come to your house and check. And if they find man clothes or man shoes or anything indicating that a man was living there, you lose your aid. Does anybody see the problem with this? How in the hell, why in the hell would you set up an aid system, a benefit system, supposedly to help impoverished or struggling black families, black women, black children, but you include in that, get rid of the man? Because it's a direct attack on the black family structure. You want to make sure, this is what it's going to do now. I'm going to tell you a secret, and anybody can call me old-fashioned, and anybody can call me, what do they call me? I guess they wouldn't call me a Bible thumper because of this one. They might say I'm a misogynist. Yeah, I'm a misogynist. Let me give you a secret. The black woman is supposed to depend on her man to provide. The black woman is supposed to be financially dependent upon her man. Now, what about the white woman? I don't know. We're talking about Africans right now. The black woman is supposed to be financially dependent upon her man. Does that mean she can't work and make her own money? No. Does that mean she's supposed to sit in the house all day and never become educated and go out and achieve? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that naturally the man is supposed to, I'm talking about the black man now, is supposed to be a provider. And when the black woman can depend on him, that gives her a sense of stability and security. And that keeps the balance in order. Now you think about this. How many black women do you know? They pay all their own bills. They're the one that have the house. They're the one that have the car. They're the one that has accumulated everything. And anytime it's an argument, they're going to tell the guy, I don't need you for shit. They're going to look at you like a little boy because they're not dependent upon you for nothing. You can go right now. You the one out in the street, not them. That is not how it's supposed to be. The black woman is not supposed to be the provider. The black woman is not supposed to be taking care of the man. The black children should not be running to their mother to ask for everything, and the daddy can't do nothing for them. That's not how it's supposed to be. But when you give the aid to the women that men can't get, you mass incarcerate the men, and even when they get out, you make it where they can't come into the house. Then you making the woman the provider. You making the woman, now she ain't really working, but she got the cash. She got them food stamps. She got control over everything. You throwing everything off balance. So that was another attack on the black family. Can I tell another attack? Crack. Again, I'm gonna cite to the new Jim Crow, Michelle Alexander. I know a lot of people don't read and don't study, but it's been bared out in facts. It's been shown and proven where the Reagan administration, Oliver North, the Iran-Contra scandal, where crack was being imported in and let into the community by the government. It was a new and cheap form of cocaine aimed at the inner cities, and it flooded the inner cities, particularly starting out in Cali where the Panthers were, to wipe out that structure and stability, and then all the black inner cities, and it wiped out the family structures. Okay? All of a sudden, you got mothers willing to prostitute their daughters. Okay? You got men strung out, stealing from their families. Whole neighborhoods going down the drain. Whole cities going down the drain. All because it destroyed the fabric of the family. Now let's talk about this. This is another thing that some people might get mad at me for. But I believe, how can I say this? To me, black men are to blame for 90% of the problems we have in our community. Why do I say that? Well, we're the ones that's supposed to be the leaders anyway, right? And anybody can say what they want. Like Irritated Jenny says, women follow men. Women follow men. Now, you know how I know? When I first got with my wife before we were married, she already had a master's degree. She already had her career going. She already had her own car. She already had her own place. She already had her own money. And I was still a broke law student living with my mom. And I watched. Now, my wife, she loved me even before we were married. So she did a great deal to take care of me and get me to where I needed to be. But I have seen total change. I'm telling you from experience now. Going from being a broke law student who used to know how to go in Walmart and make $40 buy me enough groceries to last me a week or two, to being the primary breadwinner in my house and being able to do substantially more financially. I have seen a 100% turnaround change in my wife. Does that mean she's a gold digger? No. That means that when the man is providing and playing the role that he's meant by God to play, the woman is going to fall in line. It's just a fact. All these black dudes saying that the wife always argue at them, on this and that, they don't have, listen, man. First thing you need to stop cheating on your wife. That's why half of you have turmoil at home. If that's not the problem, you need to be the provider that you're supposed to be. I guarantee you'll have peace. Black men come to me, I don't know why she acting like this. I don't know why she doing this. Well, has she caught you cheating? Well, oh, okay. Well, if that's not the one, who pays the bills? Okay? So, I put the burden on the man. And this is why the black family is so important. Our black boys have to be raised, have to be taught, have to be trained, have to be influenced, have to be led to be husbands, fathers, and community leaders that are committed to their women and their families. And they're not going to learn this in no single mother household. Our black boys are growing up with no damn sense of what it means to be a man. It's terrible. When I look around, I see so many black men out here afraid to commit, afraid to be married, afraid to build a family, afraid to do what we need to do to build this organization, to build the first organization. And the reason they're afraid and the reason they don't know is because they weren't taught this as boys. They had punk ass uncles telling them to run around and get as much sex as they could. They didn't have a family structure, and now they're repeating the cycle. I'm talking about 45, 50-year-old men still running around here talking about how many hoes they got. Brother, you old as hell. Why don't you know how to be a man? Because there was no men there. There was no family structure, first of all, and there were no men telling them directly. I tell my boys directly, this is what it means to be a man. You're going to get you a woman. What kind of woman? A black woman. What are you going to do? You're going to commit to that woman. You're going to get married to that woman. You're going to build a family with that woman. You're going to provide for your children. You're not going to come complaining to me just because the marriage is tough. Marriage is tough. It's not called honeymoon. It's called marriage. Okay? If nobody's there to teach these boys, if they're not seeing this in front of their eyes, then they're not going to know it. And I'm going to end up in the situation I'm in now. I have a wife. I have 2 daughters. But I'm raising about 40 to 50 other boys. Well, why I'm raising them? Because their daddies ain't there. Well, where their daddies at? They still think they fucking young. Okay? Excuse my language, but they still think they're young. What do I mean by that? I'm 32. I'm 32. I have boys from my program that ain't even 22 that already found the woman that they're going to be with, already married her, and already got full-time jobs, already got their own babies on the way. How in the hell they know how to commit? How the hell they know how to be responsible? And I got 40 and 50-year-old men walking around here like they don't know how to, asking for damn advice. This is pissing me off. This is one of the main reasons we need straight Black Family Month. Just like our boys can wake up and dream of being in the NFL, or being the next LeBron James, or being the next big rapper, or in my growing up, being the next big dope boy. I need them to wake up and dream to be a husband and a father and have a family and take care of them. I want that to be their goal and their vision and their dream. That's why we need families. Because guess what? When you have a mother and father in the household showing you the right way, you have the example right there. You don't have to read about it in a book. You don't have to go to BPM. You got it right there in the household. And any good man, any real man is going to train his son in that way. I'm just talking about sons right now because there's so many punk ass black men out here. We had to make shirts called No More Punk Ass Black Men. What's a punk ass black man? Deadbeat dad, afraid to commit, mooches off women, weak, timid, afraid. Punk ass black men. They everywhere. Oh God, they're everywhere. And if we don't get our boys and teach them, and I hate to use this word because it's kind of a strong word, they need to be indoctrinated. That is no other way. And the best way to do this is in the family. My boys see that my life is not perfect. They see me and my wife smiling and laughing and having a great time and talking about straight black family. They also see us arguing and going through and why I gotta pay this bill. Oh yeah, I try to get out of paying bills. I'd much rather be buying guns. But I got a wife that's not gonna allow it. And well, she's gonna allow it. She's not gonna let me get out of hand. But they see all that. I couldn't tell them to be married and be family men if I wasn't taking care of my damn daughters. Not damn daughters, my great beautiful daughters. This is really bothering me because as the black family has declined, the young black male has been left with no example, no guidance, no structure, and they're just growing up to keep that same cycle going. And I'm trying to break that. Okay? So yes, we need straight black family month. Our whole community, our whole survival depends upon it. Well, what you mean? Well, I don't know if you guys know, but the only way either one of us got here as a people is by some straight black activity. Meaning, you can't create life with any other form of pride. I just put it like that. There's a reason that a man and a man can't create a child, because a man and a man can't raise a child. A woman and a woman cannot raise a child correctly. I'll give you an example. Women trying to, let's just say girls. Well, you say, well, they maybe can't raise a boy, but they can raise a girl. No, they can't. I was going outside the other day to take my daughters to daycare. And a gentleman older than me, he's retired now. He seen me put my daughters in the car and playing with him and laughing with him. And he stopped me. He said, it make my heart feel good to see that. He said, I raised 3 girls. I wish I could have kept them young their whole life. I said, I know how you feel. I don't know how it is to have older teenage and grown-up girls, but I like my girls right where they are, babies. He said, and I mark my words now, he said, all 3, this is a black man now with a black woman in a black neighborhood on the north side of Duval. He said, I got 3 daughters and all of them are married right now and they all married to good men. I said, damn. Because from what I see, sisters struggling to find good men. They few and far between out here. I know so many single black women and good single black women and single mothers, and I be looking for a man to give them. He said, I raised 3 girls and all of them got good black men and they married. I said, that's amazing. How you done it? He said, because I was there all the time to show them what a real man was. So when they went out there, they knew how to tell the real from the fake. I say, boy, look at here. Now you're talking. See, because I just love my daughters. And I give them some fruit snacks and some Capri Suns, and we just have fun. And half the time, they act more like my friends. I don't think, all the time I'm not thinking long term like this older brother was telling me about. What that man is doing day to day in that household, if he's a real man, is showing that little girl, his daughter, what real manhood looks like. And that's the way they know how not to go out here and fall for skinny jeans, diamond earrings, dyed hair, a damn slacker. That's how they know. That's how they decipher, because you're teaching them. So when he said that, I said, wow, all 3 of his daughters married. All of them got good black men. Because he set the example. That's another thing that goes to that now. Not only are you setting the example for what you're letting your daughters know what to look for when you're a real man bringing up these girls, You also play a Shark Tank. Y'all seen that show, Shark Tank? You also play that role where you get to see which candidate gonna make it through. Because when it's a real man there, you best believe he gonna weed through the candidates that they bring around, right? When it's a real man in that house, that girl can't just bring home no any old crap. It's not gonna be able to fly. If let's just say Journey, whenever she does get old enough to date, she brought home some weak, timid, afraid to commit, joke, clown, weak jokester, he wouldn't make it 5 minutes around. He'll be gone, right? This is the role that the real black man plays. So even a woman alone can't raise a girl the right way. Because she can't show that girl what a real man looks like. If ain't no real man around, she ain't going to be able to model what a real man would do. Check this out. Every morning when I get up, if I don't have court, and I'm not putting on a shirt and tie and dress pants and getting ready to go, Journey come out in the room and say, Daddy, why you ain't going to work? You got to go to work. I'm like, Journey, I don't have court today. I can go at my own pace. I can work from home. I can do whatever I want. No, you got to go to work. Where's your pants? Where's your pants? Where your work pants? Why she saying that? Because she used to seeing her daddy get the hell up and go to work. Not lay around the house all day and wait for Melanie to come home. No, she knows what's supposed to be going on. Daddy, where your work pants? We going to school and you going to work. Right? So, you got to have both. That's one of my other main points with this situation. The black family is crucial because the masculine-feminine balance is crucial. That's what that Ankh is all about. I don't know if y'all can see it. Our sign over there. That's what that Ankh is all about. The masculine-feminine balance. Not only can you not create life without it, you can't nurture life without it. There's things that Melanie is just so much better at than me. For example, patience. I done seen Sage and Journey get to playing, then it turns into an argument, then it turns into a fight, then it turns into crying. I'll go in the room and close the door. I'll go outside in the garage. I'll just leave. They can be a handful. Melanie can be texting on her phone, doing her hair, doing 3 or 4 things, still watching them and keeping up with all their mess without freaking out. I can't do it. Once the heat gets too high, either I'm going to shut it all the way down or I'm going to get from around. There's just a difference. There's a difference between the masculine and feminine energy and the way they go about handling things. Okay? The job to provide. That's the man's job. I'm just going through my notes here, but we already talked about that. Food, shelter, clothing, provide. That's the man's job. Like I said, does that mean women can't work and have money? No, that's not what I'm saying. But when it comes to these basic things, a man, number one, going to get a great feeling from being able to provide for his children. Or he's supposed to. I remember the other day, Journey needed a bike because at her school they had bicycle day. Now, I had already bought her a bike, but the bike had got worn out and it wasn't maintained properly, and I just bought her a new one. I wasn't going to let her go without having what she needed, and she got to sit there and watch all the other kids ride their bikes, and she can't do it. But it made me think back to my childhood. It was plenty of damn days we couldn't do nothing the other kids was doing. Because my dad wasn't playing the role he was supposed to play. And my mom was trying to be mom, provider, protector, nurturer, teacher, and everything in the book. And our women should not be asked to do that. Now that's what I'm talking about when we get to Straight Black Family Month. That's why this is so important. The black woman should not be asked to be the provider, the protector, the nurturer, the teacher, the healer, the organizer, the fundraiser, the cook, the cleaner. The black woman should not be asked to do all of this. It's not natural. It's not correct. The black man should... Hey, I remember one of the presidents, I don't know if it was Nixon or Reagan, he said he's going to put a chicken in every pot in every household in America. Well, I aim to put a black man, a good, real black man, in every black household in America. Okay? Because our women should not be asked to do this. It's not right, it's not fair, and it doesn't work. It's not right, it's not fair, and it doesn't work. And believe me, in the 10 years that I've been doing BPM, I have seen black women that find a way to push, pull, scrape, struggle, scramble, and get it together for their kids, but they are hurting. They are forced to be tougher than they're supposed to be, stronger than they're supposed to be, meaner than they're supposed to be, more masculine than they're supposed to be, because they got to fend for themselves, fend for their children, carry the whole load. And it's not right and it's not fair. But until we put our families back together again, that's what it's going to be. So every gender fluidist and every goddamn liberal that comes on my page and asks me why we need Straight Black Family Month, I want you to go to the next black woman you see that's a single mother and tell her we don't need our families back together and that she can do it all on her own. I want you to tell her that, since we don't need it, that she can continue to do this all on her own. Because my aim is for her to have someone to lead that household. The black man is supposed to set the tone and lead the household. And anybody who has a problem with me saying that the black man is supposed to be getting together with the black woman and building families and letting everybody do their role, what they're supposed to do in this family, anybody who has a problem with me saying that needs to go to hell, because you're a demon. It's common sense. Okay, all right, let's move on here. Have to be and feel protected. Let me ask you a question, because these gender fluidists want to pretend like a woman can do everything a man can do, and a man can do anything a woman can do. As a matter of fact, a man can become a woman, and a woman can become a man. I was just thinking about this simple example. Men are biologically built to protect and to fight, more so than women. Cannot prove it. We all know that men have more muscle mass, more bone density, more testosterone. They're more willing to take risks. They're built biologically to fight. Men have fought most of the wars. Does that mean women can't fight? Hell no. Look at Clarissa Shields. Look at Serena Williams. These are black women who are warriors, strong, fierce athletes that can go out and get the job done. But let me ask you a question. Do you think Clarissa Shields could stand a chance against Mike Tyson? Okay? If she's the greatest female boxer of all time, is what she said. She said she's the GOAT, the greatest woman of all times. Do you think she would have a chance against Mike Tyson? Look at Serena Williams, about 160, 70 pounds of solid muscle. Do you think she would have a chance against Deontay Wilder or Francis Ngannou? Biologically, it's just not the same. They're not built to be men. They're not built to do what we're supposed to do. And when it comes to protecting, our women and children need to feel protected. I always think about it sometimes. If something was to happen to Journey runs to me all the time for me to step in, and ain't nothing even been done to her. Like, they won't give me a popsicle. I'm like, Journey, they don't have to. But she knows anytime that she even feels like she's been done wrong, that she can run to me. And that all hell is liable to break loose. That's a comforting feeling. Now, what about the little girls? This is what I think about. What about the little girls? Let's say some boy cuss her out, right? Let's say some slightly older boy cuss her out. She ain't got no daddy at home. Her mama can't beat this boy up a step to this boy, right? This boy wasn't raised right, so his mama probably ghetto as hell, right? Who's she gonna run to? This teenage boy done cussed her all out. He's 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. She running to her mom. Her mom every bit of 5'5", 110. What she gonna do? Right? So now this girl, all types of insecure, she started to shut off from the world. I was getting all political here, but let me